For today's lecture, we're going to explore a non-Western tradition on the concept of the good life. In particular, I'm interested to study with you the ideas of Confucius and the Analects about his concept, his proposal of the good life. This instructional video is divided into two parts. In the first part, I will provide a brief summary of Confucius's bio and a summary of the Analect. Now, in the second part of the video, I'm going to spend some time to explore or study and analyze with you Amy Olberdine's article, which I have assigned. It's entitled Confucius Complaints in the Analects Account of the Good Life. I have drawn sources from different authors, from different venues, from Arthur Raleigh, who's a Confucius scholar. I'm not a Confucius scholar, and other important resources that I have found very helpful for this conversation. Confucius was born in 551 BCE and died around 479 BCE. He's known in Chinese as Confucius. I think that's the correct spelling. Forgive me if I mispronounce that. Confucius means Master Kong. So he was an influential Chinese philosopher, teacher, and a political thinker, political scientist. As a teacher, his work, his sayings, his actions would have a tremendous influence not only in China and various Asian cultures. Confucius was born in the state of Lu, Lu. It's the modern-day Shandong province. During the spring and autumn period of 551, many commentators have noted that he came from a once aristocratic but impoverished family. So his philosophy was deeply influenced by the social instability of his time, and his ethic, his political philosophy, is principles on proper conduct, on virtue ethics, okay, had the same social and political context. He worked as a teacher and a minor government official. He was not a successful political leader. He advocates for a return to traditional values such as filial piety. In Chinese, it's Chao, Siao. Again, you would forgive me for the mispronunciation. And for ritual propriety, okay, that's Li, Li in Chinese, and benevolence, and that's Ren, Ren. He believed that a harmonious society could be achieved through moral cultivation, virtuous leadership, and education. Although some of his ideas were not widely accepted during his lifetime, but he had many disciples and many people followed him in his lifetime. And others have found values in his work. And Confucius he was the head or acted as the head of the family. And as we know, when he was about 70 years old, and in chapter 2, verse 4 in Analects, he speaks of himself in one, in that chapter. We do not know exactly the exact date of his birth, of his death, but many Confucius scholars have dated it for 551, as I mentioned before, date of his birth, and 479 as the date he passes away. Now, he had a family. Some say he had two sons, and we do not really know what happened to his wife. Some commentators said that, Confucius had over like 72 disciples, but in the Analect, we find some 20 people mentioned as his disciples. But at any rate, the what is the Analect? Well, the Chinese name is Lunyu, Lunyu, is a collection of sayings or conversations of Confucius or credited to Confucius. And these sayings were recorded by his disciples after his death. The text is a key source to understand Confucius' ideas or his body of ideas. Is a work of philosophy, so it's a philosophical text, based on different sayings of Confucius. Some scholars have dated it, during 4th and 3rd centuries BCE. It is compiled or composed of short chapters filled with dialogues, conversation, pithy sayings, proverbs. Well, one of the objectives of the Analect, this is my version, it looks like this, is to teach people, government, how to live a virtuous, meaning life, and how to govern ethically. How to govern ethically. Confucius' core belief includes that society can be improved through moral virtue and proper conduct. After he dies, Confucianism, which bears his name after his name, or his philosophy of Confucianism, would influence not only Chinese society or education and government in China for over 2,000 years, but Confucianism would have a tremendous role in Eastern culture, okay, and Asian culture. Let me go over some key themes in the Analect. Some of the key themes include the following: moral virtue essential. That means personal ethics and self-discipline are the foundation of a good life. Education and self-cultivation as the second key theme. So learning is a lifelong process. So learning has the potential to shape our character. Learning has the potential to provide wisdom. In other words, we gain wisdom through a lifetime of learning and self improvement. The third key principle or key theme in the Analect is this: ritual and tradition matter. Ritual and tradition matter. According to Confucius, rituals help us maintain social order and show respect for others. So, rituals enable us to maintain a, a well ordered society and by showing respect to other people. The role of John Zhu, Gunzi, it's the Chinese word that best translates in English as the noble person. It's the idea that the ideal person lead by example. That person is guided by virtue, not by status or wealth. This is very important. The noble person is an exemplary figure in society. Okay? His life is guided by moral virtues. He doesn't look for fame, or he does not pursue status in society, nor does he pursue fame or wealth in society. Another key theme in the book is ethical leadership. Ethical leadership simply means good government is based on virtue, not by force. A moral ruler inspires a moral people. Let me share with you some key quotes from the Analect. It's not a joy to learn, and as time passes, to apply what one has learned. Is it not it's a question. Is it not a joy to learn, and as time passes, to apply what one has learned? In Book 2, verse 3, it says, "The master said, govern the people by regulations," that means order. "Keep order amongst them by chastisements, and they will flee from you and lose all self respect. Governs them by moral force." Moral force simply means virtue, ethical virtues. "Keep order amongst them by ritual, and they will keep their self respect and come to you on their own accord." As you see, there are certain principles the government should instill, okay, in society. And from those principles, okay, the society or the nation will have positive outcomes. Let me read another verse from book 4, verse 2. "The master said, without goodness, a man cannot for long endure adversity. Without goodness, a man cannot for long enjoy prosperity." And um, my last quote from the book is this: "The noble-minded are calm and steady. The petty-minded are always anxious. That Analects chapter 7, verse 36. The noble-minded are calm and steady. The petty-minded are always anxious. So, let's explore some key terms in the text. I already mentioned John Zhu, Ren, R-E-N. It means humanness or benevolence. Li, Li, means ritual or proper conduct. Chow, I believe that's how you say it. Xiao. It means filial piety. Junzi, Gunzi, the noble or the superior person. Okay, so we will return to those terms in part 2 of our conversation.